Hello, big up, welcome back to my channel. Now, I don't actually mean to show this yet. Welcome back to my channel. Yo boss, what's news? News is injuries. A lot of them. So, big up to the chat. Like and subscribe if you're new around here, and well, let's get started really. So I saw some injury news and I decided to do this video because there's quite a lot of injuries right now at Man City, like Oscar Bob Ake was injured until recently. We had that injury with Salvino where he was injured for a short while. There's so many injuries with Man City lately, so I decided to do this video here, or this stream I suppose. It's not panic mode yet. I'm not in panic mode yet. But we're gonna get to panic mode if this trend continues. So, in my opinion, we do need to actually strengthen in some places in January. Otherwise, I won't be doing this stream, I suppose. So, let's go through. I've made a bullet point list of what I want to talk about. Let's go through everything and let's hope everything goes great. And let's hope, by the way, we don't get any more injuries. Like that would be a great start. But it's not looking likely at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Let me share my screen here. There you go. So, currently, the Manchester City injury list. This is what it looks like. Now, tell me, how bad does that look? How bad does that look? Like, Rodri out? Like, come on, Rodri is our main guy. Like, I've put all the injuries in here. Just to give perspective on how bad this actually is, I suppose let's put Ortega here too. This is what our current squad looks like. That midfield and attack is dead right now. Like, come on. We have two wingers out. We should have bought a striker. Hi, says Rosa. Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, that attack is fucking dead. Like, I said that we should have bought a backup to Haaland. I argued maybe Mateus Nunes is that backup. Well, turns out Pep Guardiola sees Mateus Nunes as a left winger, and who am I to argue with Pep Guardiola? I guess on nobody. But that attack right now with Oscar Bob, Doku, and De Bruyne and Grealish out, yeah, you're struggling. We didn't get a Rodri backup, that's also something I said we needed. We needed a Rodri backup, and, well, we didn't get one, so gotta pay the price, I suppose. And now I think we'll be fine until January, to be fair, without a Rodri backup. But we really need to get that Rodri backup replacement, whatever you like to call it, by January. We really do. We can't just wait any longer, I think. So we just have to get that. So I'm good. What about you? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing okay. I got just a little bit annoyed, to be fair. I got like a 19 on 20 on a test for the college, like an exam, like university exam, and I wanted a 20 on 20, but I got a 19 on 20, so I'm annoyed by that, but for the rest I'm doing fine. Y'all got more injuries than Michael Jackson, bruv. Michael Jackson, he's dead, bro. There's no injuries to go about with Michael Jackson. So yeah. I go through the squad right now, but I don't think there's really a need to. Like, you guys can see quite easily. We don't have a Rico Lewis backup unless you want to play Akanji there, but then you're overplaying Walker as or like Walker, but then you're overplaying them because I have Walker as a centre back option because that's how skint we are right now. Although I do actually believe that Walker can do a job as a centre back, but still, it's a bit wild, isn't it? I'd really prefer not passing grade is 10.5, by the way. Most people are happy with that. Yeah, but 20 on 20 is better than 19 on 20, you know. But yeah, I do want to see a Rico Lewis backup, so that's what I'll talk about. I want to see a Haaland backup. Now, I actually don't think that wingers are a problem, because if you look at when the wingers come back, Doku is supposed to come back in like a week or something. No, sorry, Grealish is supposed to come back in a week. Doku is supposed to come back in a month from now. Oscar Bob is supposed to come back by the end of the first half of the season. So, okay, we're currently skint on wingers. By the end of the window, we're gonna have, or by the start of the window, we're gonna have 3 wingers back. So, there's no point in buying wingers right now. We have them. We just got very unlucky injury-wise with our wingers. You're really adamant on a Kyle Walker centre back. But yeah, here's the thing, Rosa. Kyle Walker does make for a decent centre back because we've seen him play centre back against Fulham, I believe. And sure, he got done in by Traore, but he still played solidly throughout that game. So yeah, I want to see Kyle Walker centre back because he's not good enough to play on right back right now. And I want to see, can he at least do a job against the smaller teams, like maybe a Southampton coming up later today, for Man City? Because clearly he's not doing it at right back. So we've got to shift him somewhere, right? And currently that's at right back. So what do we do? Do we sell him in January? Like I said, what we do? Then we have to bring in another right back anyway. So yeah, I respect it. Let's see if it works, right? Yeah, exactly. Just let's see if it works with Kyle Walker centre back. And if it doesn't work, fair enough. Sell him in January. Get him out. If it does work, you keep him. It's a win-win. Not really, but it's close enough to a win-win. So goalkeepers are fine, wingers are fine, but Echeverria is coming as well in January, or is he coming in January, February? That's like Argentinian transfer window is a bit weird, isn't it? But Echeverria is coming to Man City, so we don't need to worry about an attacking midfielder, I think. De Bruyne is going to be back. Foden is fit at the moment. I don't think we really need an attacking midfielder at the moment. And we can even play Savio in the 10 or Grealish in the 10. They're both comfortable with that. What we do need is a backup striker. So I prepared a few backup strikers to look at. And the first here is Gyökeres. Now, Gyökeres, I mean, he's been linked to everybody. Man City as well, because Man City, of course, got the sporting director from Sporting, so now we are linked to every single player to ever play for Sporting, even if it was 20 years ago, because that's how it goes, right? But Gyökeres, he's a good striker from everything I can see. I don't watch Sporting, I can't lie, but he's a very high-profile striker, and he's got quite a transfer sum, doesn't he? 70 million, so... And that's just value. They might ask anywhere up to 100 million for the Gyökeres. Like, you never know. If they're asking for 100 million for Victor Gyökeres, then are we gonna pay that? I very much so doubt that we're paying 100 million for this guy. He's, 26 years old. He's older than Haaland, so he's not even a long-term plan. So I really doubt Victor Gyökeres. The only striker I know of these is... The only striker I know of these is Gyökeres, and I doubt he'll come to sit on the bench. But there's options, I suppose. I'd like to see a backup striker. 2-1 Haaland. You mean the only striker you know that's going to do a Haaland's job or something like that? I know a few strikers. Like, I'm going to go through a list of 3 strikers here, including Victor Gyökeres. I suppose 4 strikers, actually, that I do think can do a job. But... Fair enough, yeah, but I think there are strikers out there who are good enough to be a backup to Haaland. We're not looking for a striker to be Haaland. You're not going to find a second Haaland. We're looking for a striker to be backup to Erling Haaland, not to be Erling Haaland. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go, fair enough. We've reached middle ground. So I very much so doubt Gyökeres, but something that is a bit more likely is Kleindienst. Now, Tim Kleindienst, he plays for... Mönchengladbach at the moment. He has played for Germany, so he has done interlands. Now, he has won 3 trophies. These are second division trophies, like third division trophies. So these don't actually mean anything. Yeah, this is second division. This is like third division something, and he is getting quite old. But I mean, he has played for Germany. He scores quite lucratively. So I think Kleindienst is fair. Although I don't know if he's the best. I don't know. There are better out there, and maybe you want to say in the Premier League, because he's a striker from the German league, from the Bundesliga. maybe you want to buy someone from the Premier League. So that way we know they've got Premier League experience, they'll do it in the Premier League. Then the option is Evan Ferguson. That's the immediate option I could think of, because that's the only one that we talk about, other than like maybe Ollie Watkins and Isaac, but those aren't coming to Man City, I think, especially not on a January window. Ollie Watkins will not come to Man City to hold bench, and Isaac will not come to Man City, period, I believe. I think he's going to stay at Newcastle United. So, man's out there trying to get strikers from... Come on, man. Kleindienst is not that bad. Kleindienst is not that bad, bro. Nah, you're roasting me right now, Datsilt. You're still angry because your Bayern München lost. That's your problem, mate. That's your problem. You're currently attacking me because Bayern München lost against Barcelona. That's your problem, Datsilt. Leave me alone, bro. Kleindienst is not that bad, mate. Kleindienst is not that bad. Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson is a striker from Wish. He's the only one that people talk about right now. He's done fuck all this season. Like, just saying, bro. Kind of overrated, this guy. Which is why I doubt him. Now, this one is a wild one, though. My last striker here is Denki. Now, that is admittedly a little bit wild. But hear me out. Hear me out with Denki. He has consistently scored well for Cercle Brugge. Cercle Brugge is a shit team and he is currently scoring. He got top scorer last season in the Belgian League. He's been consistently good, especially in big games. This guy scores in big games, yeah? So, this might be a little bit wild, but Denki, I think, is an option as well for that backup Holland striker. He is cheap. I think he's like 5 million in value or something right now. Let's see. He's actually gone up to 14 million, but he was at 5 million not too long ago. His value has gone up, but he was like a 6 million striker not too long ago. So, this is someone that we can get in the transfer window in January, realistically. He's scored goals for his international team, scores in big games. He's got a similar profile to Haaland. He's not as tall as Haaland, but he can finish a goal. He's strong, he's fast. Not as fast as Haaland again, but he's fast. So, I mean, Denki is someone that you can rely on. Not the greatest passer on the ball, but neither is Haaland. So, I don't know, I think Denki, maybe a bit out there, but it is a possibility. So, then we're going to go... Actually, funny enough... Hello, Wim, how are you doing? And funnily enough, just as you say that, Dassilt, I'm going over to Zubimendi. So, we've talked about the strikers. We're gonna need to get a backup striker, in my opinion. Now let's talk about the midfield. I think De Bruyne is gonna come back. Grealish can play midfield. So we don't need to worry too much about midfield. But we do want that Rodri cover, backup, replacement, whatever you call it, right? So I was just about to talk about Zubimendi, as you mentioned that. So, Zubimendi. Obviously, Euros winner with Spain, played as a backup to Rodri and for Spain. Won with Sociedad. Didn't go to Liverpool. Ended up regretting that decision. For those who don't know, he has said stuff like, this might have been the wrong decision and stuff like that. After deciding to stay at Real Sociedad. Man City, so for those who don't know, by the way, he has a release clause of 60 million. Man City has interest in Zubimendi, allegedly. Now, if Man City goes calling for Zubimendi, I do believe he comes. I'm fully convinced, if Man City says, Zubimendi, come over, I'm fully convinced he comes. So, Zubimendi, I think, there can hardly be any arguments about Zubimendi. We just need to get him. Unless we get a different defensive midfielder, we need to get someone. The obvious one seems Zubimendi. It doesn't have to be Zubimendi, I suppose, but it has to be someone of the profile of Zubimendi. He has a release clause, 60 million. That is doable. You get him at 60 million. Let's say you get another player at 10 million. We'll go to... let's say we get that backup striker right at 10 million. What is Kleindienst's value? Like 8 million. Come on, 10, 15 million. On top of Zubimendi's release clause of 60 million. Let's say you're at 75 million then. Then you've still got a bit of budget left, maybe another 15 million, because we didn't spend a lot in the summer window, to maybe go out and buy Klosterman, who's put as a centre back here, but he plays as a right back, so he plays all his games as a right back, so that's not really true. He's a right back, not a centre back, but Klosterman, that will be the right back option to cover for Rico Lewis. Now, if we get that in, Jan Bredel's stadium is officially sold out for tomorrow. I'm surprised it took that long. But yeah, what was I saying? Sorry. Yeah, Klosterman would be the backup option for Rico Lewis. Because he's a solid player, Klosterman is a wild shout. I think Klosterman is fair because he's played in Bundesliga, right? He's used to playing in high lines with Leipzig. I've watched Leipzig, just to be honest, when he was a bit younger, but I have watched him at RB Leipzig. He's been a solid player. He's not a great player, but he's a solid player. So if we bring in Klosterman, I think that's fair. He's not going to go forwards as well as Rico Lewis, but like to rest Rico Lewis in Carabao Cup games and FA Cup games and the smaller games in the Premier League, I think Klosterman can do a job. He's not that expensive. He's only 28. Like, his value is at 8 million. I doubt you get him for that price. We're probably gonna get something more like, I don't know, 10, 15 million. But 15 million for Klosterman. You get Subimendi at 60 million. That's 75 million. We only spent 20 something million in the summer window. So I think that's fair. I really do think that is fair. So that immediately gets us that right back that we need, gets us the defensive midfielder we need. Then all we need to worry about is a striker. You could say we don't need a striker because we can have false 9 Foden. I don't agree with that, but that's already a better squad than what we have right now. If you want to go out and spend 90 million in this window, you can do another 15 million on a striker like Kleindienst or like Denki. If you want to spend it really big, you go buy Gyökeres, although I very much so doubt Gyökeres. So, yeah, Dacilt, you tell him. You tell him. Klosterman is solid, respect him. Klosterman is solid, so put some respect on his name, yeah? Because I actually like the way Klosterman plays. He's very used to playing in a high line, so if you want a defender to come in quickly, that you can expect to do a job, then I think Klosterman is the one. There may be others out there that are better and cheaper, but from what I can think of at the moment, Klosterman has experience, is used to playing in high lines, and is just solid. Why not? Why not? I don't know why. He's also solid on the ball, by the way. He's not bad on the ball. He's not as good as Rico Lewis, again, but he's a backup. He's not a starting player. And I think he'd be happy to sit on the bench. Because you go to Klosterman and say, you're going to win the Premier League with us on the bench, you're going to win Champions League with us on the bench. But oh, he's happy. He's happy to be on the bench. Kortrijk lost 1-0 to Beerschot, yes. But now, let me just go through the squad list if we do get a few of those transfers. So obviously goalkeepers don't change. That's going to be the same. So let's just see what this would look like. And we're going to start without the backup players. And then we're going to get the backup players in as well. Joel, Aki, that's looking just fine. So Nathan Aki, here you go. That looks just fine. Diaz. And I guess Akanji is out starting centre back next to him now. Diaz and with Stones as the backup, and then Akanji. And next to as Akanji's backup as a centre back, I will put Walker. Carl Walker can play as a centre back, as I talked about previously in the stream. Then we're gonna have Rico Lewis here. We don't have a Rico Lewis backup at the moment. We'll come back to the potential of Klosterman playing as that Rico Lewis backup. So, Kovacic in defensive midfield. Foden playing as our 10. And well, this is already difficult, but you're gonna have Savio and Grealish here on the left. Salvinho, I suppose. His real name is Savio, by the way. A lot of people think his name is Salvinho. His real name is Savio. Salvinho is just the other name, I suppose. And then you're gonna have Doku here with Oscar Bob. Because Bob is injured at the moment, so I'll put Bob. Oh, here he is. I'm blind. Striker is going to be Haaland, obviously, but again, you don't have a Haaland's backup. You don't have a Haaland's backup right now. Do you put Gundogan here? Do you put Bernardo Silva? I don't know. I think we'll go with Gundogan. And then Bernardo Silva as his backup. So this is... Can I type, please? Bernardo Silva. There you go. I can't type, I'm sorry. But there you go. That is the squad then, without the backups. Today started Waal Leuven, Dendel Mechelen and Sint-Truiden Westerlo. Man City casually cooking with 5 major injuries too. I won't say casually, but we do still have a solid squad. Like, if you look at this, okay, you take out Doku because he's injured, so let's go. Let's actually do this with injuries, right? Salvinho here on the right, and then you have Nunez here on the left. So we're still looking decent with injuries considered, but come on, this is skint. Like, this is skint. You can't lie there and say to me that this is not skint. We're looking hella cheap. Foden injury, we're done. Haaland injury, we're done. Foden and Haaland injury, game over. You get what I'm saying, bro? So we do need to get some players in that January window. Now this is after the January window. We'll have or what I'm about to do. We'll have Oscar Bob back from injury, Grealish and Doku all back from injury. So let's start with this left hand side here with Salvinho, and on the bench should be Grealish when he's back from injury. In fact, we'll do Nunez because Grealish is injured right now. He is injured, so we'll just do Nunez. And then on this side, we'll do Bob because he's coming back from injury. And then we'll do Doku as backup. Now, let's say we buy a backup. Let's say it's Kleindienst, right? Kleindienst. Kleindienst as the backup. Manchester City is at an Wolves game, Southampton. Yeah, Man City needs to win these games. That's it. Man City just needs to win the games right now. That's it. So, you already have a bit more depth there in that front line because you bring in Kleindienst. If Haaland is injured, it's no longer KO. Now we're gonna assume De Bruyne on the bench because he's injured at the moment. So we'll give the not injured players the benefit of the doubt. Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, that's fine, right? Now you can have Kovacic with a backup in Zubimendi. There you go. Now you have Zubimendi as that backup. Now you bring in Klosterman. Let's take Klosterman here. Who, according to Dashield, is solid, by the way. Klosterman is solid according to Dashield. His opinion, not mine. So this is immediately just looking a lot better than if we don't get these players. Like, you immediately have more depth here. Obviously, Bob isn't back yet. He will be back. You immediately have that depth here. If Foden and De Bruyne can keep each other rotated, you have Gundogan and Bernardo Silva for midfield. Kovacic should be Mendy if you bring him in. I mean, this is immediately twice the depth that we have right now. Partially because injuries are preventing us from having any depth, as you can see over here. But also partially because we will be bringing in 3 players to play in positions where we currently have no depth. Like the depth is tragic. Now the injuries are also tragic, and you can't fault Pep Guardiola for that. But what you can fault Man City for, I suppose, is for not getting more signings, which I believe we should have done. I mean, I've been saying this for a long while now. I believed we should get like more people in for January, but or for the summer. Now we're having to do it in January, I believe. We'll see where we're at after the injuries and all of that, after the injured players come back, after the score, I suppose, at the halfway point in January. We'll see where we're at, right? Maybe after some youth academy players like O'Reilly have a bit more chance to shine, but yeah. Tops will make one signing in January. I really hope we do get serious in January. I really hope. Go out, get Zubimendi. That is priority number 1, Zubimendi. Then priority number 2 is buy a new striker. A young striker, preferably, who can do a job. He doesn't have to be as good as Haaland. He just has to be a backup to Haaland, who can play a few games off the bench. That's priority number 2, and those are both high priority. Then the final priority is to get a right back. Klosterman is the one that I'm thinking about. Now you guys tell me, yeah, if you agree, disagree or anything like that, but those are the players that I'm looking at, and we're gonna have to do something in January. We can't not sign anyone in January. We didn't spend anything in the summer, except for like 20 million on Savinho. So we're gonna have to spend. It's that simple. It's really that simple. We're gonna have to spend somewhere. Now where that is, I suppose nobody knows, but how else are we gonna do those 60, how else are we gonna put up that budget, right? We're gonna have to spend in January. There's no two ways about it. I really do think we're gonna have to spend in January. Now, Pep knows better than me. He's won 3 league titles, 4 league titles in a row, rather. I've won 0 league titles in a row, so Pep does know better than me, but I'm not gonna appeal to authority here. I don't believe Pep Guardiola has done a good job in the past season. I don't think he's doing a good job in this season at the moment. So, we'll see. We'll see. But that is it for me. So, we've gone live for about 30 minutes. Thank you guys for sticking along to the end. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps the channel out a ton, yeah? And I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about, so I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.